So a very good evening to all my dear candidates and the aspirants for future NABARD, that is NABARD 2024. And we have right yet another topper of NABARD 2023 with us. Shubham is in front of us and he is very close to me, right, during his preparation days, how his journey have been throughout this journey of this NABARD preparation. He has given so many examinations. So we will hear from right Shubham only. How was his journey like? And what actually made him right to succeed in this examination, right? We will take many takeaways from this Shubham's journey of this examination. So first of all, before that, my heartiest congratulations to you, Shubham, for cracking NABARD 2023 and getting into the final select list of this organization, reputed organization.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. And I would like to extend my gratitude to you for being there throughout this examination journey. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for the gesture, Shubham. Shubham, just if you can give briefly about your background, right, so
Yeah,
that people can understand that what you have been doing, in which stream you have graduated. If you can just
yeah,
briefly tell all the
yeah,
candidates.
yeah. So basically, sir, I have done mechanical engineering. So after that, I had opportunities either to go for higher education or to work in the corporate sector. So I decided to take some work experience. So I worked few years after my completion of graduation, and I realized that what where I see my future. I realize the corporate world, its work culture, and at the same time the public sector, what opportunity it throws. So I decided to quit my job after working for a few years, and in August 2019, I resigned, and then I started full-time preparation or my competitive examination journey. So yeah, so I have been giving civil services, and parallelly I explored these amazing opportunities as RBI Grade B officer, NABARD Grade A officers, and parallelly I gave them. And yeah, so as we
Yeah.
proceed in conversation, I would
Mhm.
just throw light on my journey.
Yes,
Till
yes, yes.
yeah,
Your journey is so much motivating, right? It will definitely motivate the other candidates as well, because I know that how you have struggled and how you went on all these things, right? And how you succeeded for the examination. I know all these things, but I want that you should also share your this journey to all the aspirants so that who gets demotivated, right? They will definitely get motivated by a journey of yours. So how it went on, because last year also you have given right NABARD, this also year you have again given RBI interview, and finally you got a call right this year in NABARD. So how it went on means, right, last year you didn't get selection, but again you gave the examination, you prepared for RBI interview, after interview not in the select list, then NABARD, then into the select list. So just share this means how the failures can also be the pillars to success. How you can just explain this to all the aspirants.
Yes, so I would just, as you said, so briefly throw light on the past 2 years journey. So last year, I also applied for NABARD as well as RBI. And NABARD last year, I reached till phase two, but just for a fraction of marks, I couldn't clear phase two. So you know everything. You were there throughout this journey. So I was very demotivated. Demotivated for a short period of time after the result. Like I couldn't make into the shortlisted for interview. But yeah, that doesn't stop, because there is some reason for which I started this journey. So these obstacle comes, and they teach you a lot. They teach you many values. They improve your personality. You grow up as a person throughout this journey. So I gathered courage with mentors like you, and parent support. Also my younger sister, she also supported me a lot. So that helped me, and finally I decided to move on. And then again journey started in 2023. So I applied for civil services as well. So civil services, RBI Grade B, and NABARD. So civil services, I wrote the mains, and for RBI, I reached till interview stage, and for NABARD, I finally made into the list. So this journey is also very interesting. Last year's journey. So when my mains finished, so immediately after civils mains, my RBI's interview was there, and that was just 20 days after the mains, and it was quite exhaustive. Just 2-3 months back to it, because civils prelims, then RBI phase 1, RBI phase 2, and right after that civils mains, and that is quite exhaustive. And immediately after 15 to 20 days, my RBI's interview was there. So I tried to give my best for that, but that interview didn't went well, as per like I shared that experience with you. So I was very demotivated. But good thing happened was, it was like, if I remember correctly, it was 6th or 8th of September. So while filling the RBI's detail application biodata form, I had conversation with you. I was taking your opinions for several points while filling RBI's biodata. Then you said NABARD's notification has also come, so immediately fill that. And my civils mains was there right after, since 14th of September. So I thought, instead of waiting, because the days will be very busy schedule. So immediately I filled the NABARD form at that time, and just focused on my civils mains. And immediately after civils mains, I started preparing for grade based interview. So when interview happened, it was on 14th of October, and right after interview, after some time of interview, I called you and I shared my experience. I was a last candidate on that day, and things didn't well. Obviously, there are many variables on that day. Some are controllable, some are not in our control.
Right.
And when I introspect, yes, those variables which I could control, I didn't give my best. So just one day after that, NABARD's phase 1 was there. So you told me, just forget everything and go and appear for NABARD phase 1. So it was just on 16th of October. So there was just one day. So I just tried to hold my nerves, and I just went for the exam, and I gave. So fortunately, by God's grace, I uh, cleared NABARD phase 1. Then I tried to give my best for NABARD phase 2. And I would like to mention here, what you study now previously, whatever test series or your preparation, even if you don't clear, that don't go in vain. Or so those preparation, those efforts help me in this attempt. So might be in this attempt, I wouldn't have given that much test series, or because time was less, as you know, in
Right.
civils and in RBI, a lot of energy was consumed and time was less for those. But those efforts really paid me this time, and I gave a NABARD phase 2, and fortunately, so just I will just complete this process. So this NABARD phase 2 happens, and I was hoping for positive result for RBI, even though my interview didn't go well. But definitely, it's like phase 2 plus interview marks that counts, and I was having confidence. RBI's phase 2 has gone quite well. So even if I get average marks, I can make into the final list of RBI. So on 8th of December, civils mains result comes, and I didn't get into it. And just after 5 days, on 13th of December, RBI's final result comes, and I didn't see my name in that, and that was very I would say challenging phase for me. So I called you. I expressed my all emotions. You know what I went through, and you encouraged me. You said, "Yeah, it's journey. Might be God wants to teach you something." So I was just trying to motivate myself, not to just give up or something. And then fortunately, just after 10 days, on 23rd of December, if I'm not wrong, NABARD's phase 2 result comes, and I was qualified for interview. So I shifted all my energy for interview. As you rightly said at that time, like, you should not say that you didn't give your full effort. So just shift all your energy into the interview. So I take your complete guidance, try to research previous years transcripts and all, NABARD side. So I try to give best from all my efforts. And also RBI's interview was quite recent. So I try to learn the mistakes which I did in RBI's interview, and made sure that I won't commit same kind of mistakes here. And yeah, finally I got into the
Got
finalist.
selected, right? Now coming on to, I have evaluated a lot of scripts. As you told that nothing, whatever we prepare goes in vain or goes in waste. You have prepared a lot in the last year and that helped this year too. I have evaluated a lot of scripts last year also, the evaluations, right? The descriptive, technical descriptive. And this, I knew that you're writing well, but this year, how you face the descriptive part of the examination, because that is a problem for many of the aspirants. So, how you handle the descriptive in the phase two of the examination, because this year they have given the bifurcation of the marks, right? So, how many words you have answered? Have you followed the exact word limits, whatever they have given, or you have written to the point? What was the strategy like for the descriptive part of the examination?
Yes, sir. Sir, so as you rightly said, this time they have means question was also elaborative, so there were many sub parts in the questions, so that was the one thing, one difference was there. So again, this writing helped me, means even RBI also you write the answer, so that somewhere subconsciously I was knowing like that I was in that flow. So things matter mostly in this. One is speed. So many students face the issue of speed. So fortunately, that was never the issue for me. So I was able to complete the word limits and all. So I would say what went right this time. Again, marks would tell better, but I
Mhm.
tried to give justice to the all the questions. I segregated the question as per the requirement, because many times what happens, we just write. We feel that we have that statistics or mm, nice points for this particular topic, but many times we miss the demand of the question. So I try to make sure that I stick what they have asked, instead of just putting the data or stat or
Right.
whatever schemes which I know. Instead of putting them, what is the requirement? I made sure that I stick to that requirement. Apart from that, in descriptive, as efforts were the same only. One thing, sir, which I improved was, I feel in English answer writing,
Mm. Mm.
because what
So can you
happens?
tell us before we go into the English answer writing, Shubham? Last year also, I think you missed out in about due to English marks only, maybe, if I'm right, right? You got some less marks in English.
Yeah, it like 56 something I got in
56.
English.
In RBI, how much you got in RBI?
57.5 this time.
And this time you got selected, so I think your marks might have crossed 60 this time in English. Might have.
I think, sir. I think, but sir, as you rightly said, in English, sir, um, if you see the topics, topics are not that much complex or analytical. What they
Hmm.
mostly want to see, yeah, we have the basic understanding what they have asked, but the grammatical things, they are very keen to check in this examination.
Hmm.
So I try to make sure I don't commit those grammatical mistakes. For that, as you advise, so I try to write the answers on grammarly, and
Hmm.
so like what are the some common mistakes am unknowingly doing. And again, that sentence formation, instead of going for complex sentences,
Hmm.
try to go for small statements. So yeah, that one thing, I have made the change. And RBI also I applied that previous year's NABARD's mistake. So
Hmm.
and again, in NABARD this year, I applied those changes.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely feel I have improved
Hmm.
in that.
Right. Coming on to the objective portion of the mains, this is also very important, right? How was your take like this year? How much you're comfortable with the questions of NABARD this year? Because you're from engineering background, and this year some agri questions also came related to some soil science. So how you
Yeah.
tackled the questions, and how much scores you are expecting in the objective portion this year?
uh, Sir, like if I see like what for NABARD, ESI and ARD, I would I had my UPSC background, so I had that preparation. I would just share like what was that strategy, or
Hmm.
what was
Hmm.
the sources I studied for ARD and ESI this time. But I would say when I saw the syllabus of NABARD, ES and ARD, I figure out that ESI most of the things I have done, and some of the topics. When I saw like in UPSC preparation, I haven't done like social forestry, agroforestry. So I try to make sure I have the notes ready on them. And for ARD part, sir, there one-stop solution was your notes. So when I went through your notes, I found that they are quite quality and to the point. So I just had the prints of all those ARD, and for ARD, I completely followed your sources. And for schemes, sir, that is the very important area of question where the objective, as you said, the questions come from schemes. So a good thing was during my civils preparation, I had a Evernote, a soft copy of all
Right.
the schemes was prepared. So in that, all the schemes where whether Ministry of Tribal Affairs, Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Agriculture, Farmers Affairs, or MOHFW, Panchayati Raj, Tribal Affairs, all those schemes ministry wise I already had. So what I used to do, whatever updates I would get, I would just edit in those particular schemes, whatever suppose budget allocations or something. So I would just update. Suppose recently now PM Janman scheme has come. So in just Ministry of Tribal Affairs, I would add one more section, and I would create one more section for that, and I would just update in that and just revise those. Again, so you had that power play. So a thing of what I used to do, once I shared with you as well. So immediately after the opening power play, I just used to submit, and I just directly used to go into the solutions, and I used to see which are the things which I don't know or which I haven't covered. And if I found any particular fact or something which I don't know, or something which I feel which is important and it is not there in my schemes or my current affairs notes, so I would just add up into that, and I would just revise them. So I last time also I did the same, and this time also I did the same process, but might be I didn't commit the mistakes, silly mistakes, or I hold the nerves this time in the examination hall, and that paid me. So my score was coming around 35 around. There was one question I am doubtful if that is correct, then it may go to 36, and if so it's hovering around 35, sir, in objective.
Right. That's a good score. I think the type of question this year came. Lastly, my Shubham, my question to you regarding the interview, and interview plays very important role of 50 marks, right?
Yes, sir.
So your interview this year was very special, as you told to me. How it went on, you told me this story. So can you share the experience of your interview this year?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Sir, so as I entered into the interview room, I just greeted all the panel members there. I had that all those formality which generally happens, and after that, chairman ma'am started reading my biodata, and then she said, "You work here, and what are you doing since then after quitting job and everything?" Then she said, "Why do you want to come into agriculture and rural development?" So I just said her, "Ma'am, if you permit me, can I quote something?" Then she said, "Yes, sure." Then I quoted Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhiji. I said, "Ma'am, as Mahatma Gandhiji rightly said, soul of India lives in villages, and it still holds true." I said, like, India wants to be a developed nation by 2047, and NABARD has very crucial role to play in achieving that goal. It is very crucial for the agriculture and rural development, and I would like to be part of this journey for next 25 to 30 years. And I guess she liked that particular answer. Then yes, then questions were there following them. So yeah, so that was one thing, sir, in interview.
I think you have
Apart
set
from
the
that,
tone. You have set the tone with this very first answer only, right?
I hope so, sir. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you're telling something, you.
yeah. And yes, then that was the starting. So that gave me again confidence. And then questions were there following to that. Then, if India wants to be developed nation by 2047, then what's the role of women? Or how much women empowerment is crucial for achieving that goal. So the questions were following that, and I guess I answered to all the questions correctly. There was just one question in the end. A third panel member, he asked, like, it was very simple. It was like, where is the GI tag registry is there? So it was very, I would say it was simplest question to all those questions, but I was not able to recall at that point. So I just said him, sir, I'm just not able to recall. If you permit me, can I answer? So because I was knowing subconsciously, I know this answer, but I'm just not able to recollect. Then he says, okay, you can answer. Then I said Delhi to him. And immediately, within fraction of 1 second, something I figure out I have messed up. Then I said, I realized because I was confused in Chennai. So I said, it's Chennai. And then he just smiled and looked at chairman and he said, why did you say Chennai? So I said, sir, I was knowing this answer that was there somewhere in mind, but I was just not able to recall. So he again smiles and he says, yes, that's a correct. And yeah, so that was the last question on which interview ended. And yeah, so that was the overall experience, sir.
Right. So I hope that this journey will definitely motivate many candidates, Shubham, in the coming days, because everybody thinks that the first time only the success will come, but practically speaking, it doesn't happen. There are many right permutation combination going on in and around, right? But we should take it, or we should embrace the thing, whatever is happening, and we should again fight back for the right next attempt or next thing whenever it is. So thank you, Shubham, for carving out your time, and all the best for your future endeavors in NABARD. And I hope that in future you will crack the civil services examination as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words. And again, I would like to express my gratitude. You always help me and give me right advice and mentoring, because that is important in this examination. I still remember my first conversation when I decided I would appear for this examination. So those that mentoring helped me a lot. So I'm really grateful to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Take care.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
night.
Good night, sir. Thank you. Thank you.